sake. So when the Lord said, gather yourself together, O nation not desire, whether or not they come against us, the Lord said they're going to fall anyway for our sake. So that doesn't even matter, man. All right?
Good. Go ahead, Dawadah, if you got a precept, bro.
Go back in there. Yeah, you go back in there.
All right. So this is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 10. Thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people.
So-called white man. Killing, hey, it's like right now in the so-called carnal sense. Why are these other nations are mad? You know, Syria. What's wrong with the problem of Syria? So-called white man doing all that damn killing over there. What's wrong with the so-called white man in Afghanistan and Iraq? All the killing he doing over there. You know. Same thing with the INF treaty. You know. Oh shit, he about to get these this other range missiles and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? Homeboy about to go to war. You know. All these different things.
What happened, brother?
Took it up just a little bit.
Oh,
just a little bit.
No, I got you. The water.
Read again.
Yeah.
Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 10. Thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and hast sinned against thy soul.
Right. Hey, you done brought. Hey, so some of these low-level Edomites like, well, that wasn't me. That wasn't my father. It was my father, or whatever, whatnot. In reality, like I said, you are your forefathers. But even if your forefathers actually didn't have slaves, you guilty by association. You know what I'm saying? One of y'all got all y'all fucked up. You know, when Jake was cousins or younger, and when your cousin shouldn't have did this shit, then y'all all getting in trouble. If I gotta be one of y'all, all y'all getting beaten.
Yeah, but
same thing. Go ahead.
Because you know what? You were responsible for all of them, and you let them do it, so you won't get in trouble too.
Right.
And you know what a prime example is that? When they always like to say that I didn't do it, why should I have to go through it? Did not Yahawah harden Pharaoh's heart?
Right.
But did not the same woman that used to knead dough, grind meal, the same man that used to be a blacksmith who used to hurt the cornfield, did not all of them also lose their firstborn?
Right.
Didn't all of them have to hear creepy
violent, all affected.
What's the word I'm looking for? Apparitions. Didn't they have to go through them apparitions?
Right.
Didn't all of them have to go through all them locusts?
Right.
And the river be turned to blood? Even though Pharaoh was the one that was giving the order, the whole nation was punished.
That's right.
You're not exempt.
That's right.
You're not exempt.
Hey, well, put it this way. How many where's the so-called righteous of our nation, the nation of Israel? All right, where are they at? They right here. They came right here on the same slave ships as the so-called wicked of us.
Exactly.
We all over in the same damn bunch, man.
Exactly.
All of us over here, we all caught the same judgment, man.
Exactly.
Same thing. You know, the Most High don't deal necessarily with individuals like that. You can get an individual judgment, but as a whole, your whole nation gonna wind up getting it. All right.
What the scripture? Not the scripture. What people say in the world? One bad apple spoils the whole bunch.
Huh?
You know.
Hey, the scriptures say that too. A little leaven, whole lump. Same analogy.
Right, you clutch me. All right. Spirit.
Hey, that's why you gotta cut it off completely. Because look, you leave one of these Edomites around, like shit. I gotta go. It's what's inside them to do. He the wicked.
That's so spiritual for you to say that. Because David almost annihilated all the Edom, but a couple of them got away.
And just because of that.
And just because of that.
I think it was Amalekites, or what were they? Edomites or Elamites?
No, it was Amalekites. Yeah, I think they were the Dukes. I think they was the Dukes, I don't remember. But that backs up Ecclesiastes 4th chapter. The Lord said he shall make no end of no nation.
Yeah.
You know? Well, Esau gonna be through, but they don't get absorbed to the other nations. So like, go ahead, we just in the spirit.
This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 11. For the stone shall cry out of the wall, and the beam out of the timber shall answer. Woe to him that buildeth a town.
Hang on, go back to that. So now, Job 9:24, he covered the faces of the wicked. If not, who and where is it? It's the rhetorical question, right? So he talking about the beam going to raise up. Like, who the fuck is the wicked man? Who is bombing up everybody on planet Earth?
You said the timber, right?
Yeah.
Hey, brother, can I say something?
Go ahead.
Even it says in the book, what book you in? Even in Isaiah 14th chapter, what it said the fir tree shall rejoice, saying the fellow. And the fellow is a man that cut down trees. You're right, brother.
Yeah. Like, yo, they crying out. Like, yo, they rejoicing. Why? Read that one more time.
This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 11. For the stone shall cry out of the wall, and the beam out of the timber shall answer.
Right.
Answer it.
You know, hey, there's an analogy, like when you building houses and shit, right? You go to find that beam, right? You knock on the wall till you find that certain beam. When you hear a certain sound, like that's where the beam is at, right? So if not, who and where is he? We looking at who. This is why we call you the devil. We got the check sheet, the checklist of who it is, and we just going down the list. Hey, bro, it's winding up bringing it's calling out for you, bro. You want to fit that description. So you want?
Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood. And establish a city by iniquity.
And that's exactly how he got this here land. Rape, robbery, and murder, enslavement, all right? Came over here first, he had enslaved the northern kingdom, All right, and brought the southern kingdom over here and enslaved us over here as well. All right, and then all he's been doing is rape, robbing, and murdering. All right, smallpox for the Native Americans. All right, abortions. All right, vaccines nowadays, chemtrails, so on and so forth. Keep going, man. We'll be here all day. Just, you know how they have in the cartoons, it's like, all right, your receipt or whatever, or your funds, and they start going like this, and then they just keep going to the shit. The whole, hey, we'll be here all day, man. All right, continue on.
This is 13. Behold, it is not of the Lord Yahweh of hosts that the people shall labor in the very fire, and the people shall weary themselves for very vanity. But
everybody just wanted, this is why you the double, boy.
Yeah.
This is a beautiful moment. You should be happy, brother.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm just saying, you should be happy. You are excited.
For the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord Yahweh, as the waters cover the sea. Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that puttest thy bottle to him, and makest him drunken, also that thou mayest look on their nakedness.
Now going into that, you know what I'm saying? It's just like the analogy that they're giving. Woe to the man that, like, you going out to a woman and you trying to go get her drunk so you can go sleep with her, right? Take advantage of her, right? That's pretty much the analogy that they're giving, but not necessarily talking about alcohol, all right? Like the IMF treaties. Hey, look, man, we can get you out of your straits if you just go ahead and take this here loan. You know what I'm saying? Get them drunk with the wine, and then all of a sudden taking advantage of them while they drunk. All right?
That's what happened. That's going into Adam and Eve at the garden.
Right.
You know, taking off their covering, their nakedness. You know, not following after the law, statutes, and commandments of these scriptures. You know, because you just read up and said that's not of the Lord. You know, that people shall labor in the very fire and themselves in very vanity.
Going back to that Job 20 and 20, man. Y'all, hey, that what you labor for, you're going to have to wind up throwing it back up. And then while you eating and filling your belly, you're going to wind up tasting those missiles, man. All right?
16, thou art filled with shame for glory.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's heavy.
Hell yeah.
Again, hey, we gonna have a new world order, but really, hey, all you doing is bring them nukes closer to you.
You full of shame for glory because you got rich. Your empire was built off of the hardcore bondage of the so-called legal Latinos and Native Americans, and you glorified that. All right, you even said, "Blessed be the Lord God," because their pastors pitied them not, and we are rich. It said that in Zechariah the 11th chapter. And you are glorified all over the world as being what? The rulers of the world, Job 9:24. But it's a shame unto you. That's why every time you always come with that love shit. That love everybody. Because you want us to forget the shameful history of how America was built.
Or you say, proud to be an American, my forefathers did this and that. But wait a minute, when you go into that, like there was so-called Native Americans here at first, and what happened to them? How did they get in the state that they're in now? You see what I'm saying? Something had to happen, and because y'all came over here, the people who y'all call the so-called Americans now, y'all came over here and did what? Rape, robbery, and murder, man. Yeah. All right, so what? Hey, man. Yeah. That's the same thing. Basically, this whole thing is going into. Woe to him that's doing all these different things. You could consult and shame it to your own people. Hey, yeah, we Americans. We the proud. We the golden city. This and that. But in order to become the golden city, you had to go through what? Rape, robbery, and murder. Yeah. All right, you had to wind up killing every damn body for everything. All right.
And what do you think that those "Make America Great Again" hats mean? You know, here you say, do I have to pay for the things that my forefather has done? And then you're, you know, in cahoots and you know, on the same page and mindset as, you know, making America great again. What is that? What does that entitle? What does that mean? Putting you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans back in full-on slavery, you know, in full subjection, and you know, basically justifying the slaughter and the destruction of you all. You know, that's what that "Make America Great Again" means. And in as you just read, thou art filled with shame for glory. Here it is. America's supposed to be the most glorious nation on the planet Earth. You know, but what is it built by? It's built by blood. You know, rape, rob, and murder. You know.
Hey, that's why all nations are gonna have to go through that punishment. Because you all are also accessory to what we went through. You didn't tell me centuries go on, and y'all have no idea where we came from and how we got here and what occurred.
And not one moment you said, "Oh, wait a second. Let's help these so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native America up." No, that's why it says no one says restore. No one's saying
they never restored.
Yeah, then no one's ever said all them reparations and bullshit. You know, hey, what was that Dave Chappelle skit with reparations? The reason why the Most High didn't do that for you, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans, is what happened. Just like what the brother said, we're gonna give it right back to the so-called white man.
Yep.
That'll be our redemption, our payback. We'll be right back in the same position we'll be in. You know, no one's gonna restore you, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans. And that goes, it's exactly except for YAHAWASHI. That's why Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68, and no man shall buy you. No man's gonna be able to redeem us out of this. You know, it has to be the Lord YAHAWASHI. No, because we're in deep shit. You know, roughly to say, you know, how else are we gonna get out of this trouble that we've been put into?
Yeah.
Go ahead, brother.
No, that's what I was saying.
No, I was gonna say, go back to what Shanaka had brought out. No nation desire you. So nobody, the Lord even told you, they don't desire you, so no man's gonna buy you, or no man's gonna save you. There is no savior but me. That's what you said, man.
It's like a stench. Lamentations.
Real quick.
They walk by and they hiss. They say, "This is this the city." The man that the man called perfection of beauty. You know, they look at us and they hiss. They like, oh, it's this.
Like y'all
stench,
cannot be the bit of the Lord. Cause they'll see us up here. We'll break out and say, man, I love what you guys doing, man. That is awesome, dude. Then they fuck around and see Jet around here bugged out, got their hair all half shaved off, dyed. Women walking around here 300 pounds wearing Daisy Dukes with a tight ass shirt showing her. Come on. Yeah, they're just too. Yes, they be like, nah, they can't be. They can't be. They meet us and they be like, you almost had me. And then they see Jake around the corner. Yeah. Nah, them niggas. They can't be. They can't. Yeah, so you know it's inevitable.
Yeah.
Why the Lord said by the fools of the preaching to say things that believe.
And that's why that goes into Hosea, the 1st chapter and 10th verse, you know, where it said, "You are not my people." Then it shall be said, "You are."
That's right, brother. That's right.
Read that part one more time. Just that one part.
Yeah. This is Hosea chapter 2. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 16. Thou art filled with shame for glory.
Gone. So as an analogy of that, you know, the so-called white man and all the different things that he got, right? Imagine this. You want to stun on everybody else, talking about some, bruh, I got the most money in the world. Ain't nobody got more money than me. I got the most money on deck than anybody, right? But everybody know that you went and you stole that money from the bank. Like, yeah, but you just stole all this money, so you really can't go nowhere with it, because as soon as you come out the house, the police gonna get your ass. You know what I'm saying? So like you in your house all day flexing on Instagram with all this, you know, money or whatnot, or these rappers flossing and all this stuff, kind of find out they money fake, they jewelry fake and all this and that. You consulting all this shame about, yeah, man, I'm doing it big. Look at my new watch and my new this and that. Kind of find out it's all fake, and then they're like, oh, you got that fake whatever on. Same thing Esau doing. You know, we the top nation on the planet Earth, this and that. Yeah, how did you get there? You got there by stealing what? The Most High's jewels and enslaving us, and then rape, robbing, and murdering the whole planet Earth, man. Your shame is for glory, man, or your glory is for shame, man.
That's why I say, woe to him that established a city by blood and iniquity, right? Because that's shameful. That's shameful. That's shameful.
Ill-gotten gains. Like, yo, yeah, you got it, but that motherfucker hot, so you really can't do shit with it. Yeah, you done robbed the bank. You got 50 million, but I don't like all that money dirty though. So like, you go try to spend the shit, you gonna get caught. You know what I mean?
I got a quick article right here. It says, from USA Today, column, why America can't get over slavery, its greatest shame.
Damn, so now hold on. The so-called white man coming out with this is why we call you the devil.
Yeah. So, and this was posted last year, February 8, 2018. Now we have the same photo right here.
Yeah.
All right. About the one individual, the Jake, his back. That's a famous photo. It says, savage whipping left the back of this former slave badly disfigured, as shown in his photograph taken after the man escaped during the Civil War to become a soldier in the Union Army. All right.
See if you can see that.
That was that. Shameful. Right, what shameful upon you, man? Yeah. All right. Slavery. It is America's open wound. It is a painful injury that a third of America lives with the rest of the country attempts to ignore because of them. Its ancient scar and well, hasn't it healed by now?
A scar is the healing of a wound. I have a scar that I'll never forget from when I was young. Slavery is a scar that we'll never forget, but they always try to hide it. You can't hide that scar.
And the thing is about you damn devils, man, you so-called white people, all right? You like to downplay slavery as if it wasn't something, it's just, it was all else, nothing. Get over it. They like to downplay slavery like it wasn't extensive, man. Like we didn't really go through nothing. They like to downplay it. Oh, that wasn't nothing, you know?
Come on, you guys made it. Look at you. You're football players now.
Come on. It says, its very name evokes emotions so strong that many Americans demand that we no longer speak of it. While others, those who live with its enduring impact, cry it aloud in hopes that America will finally have the conversation about it that it has refused to have for nearly 400 years. Why? Because it's shameful American history, man. And every time those foreign nations talk about America, they bring that shit up. Like the president of Iran, like you brought up, he brought that shit up. You know, you saw a video. Yeah, you saw a video. Yeah, Putin did one year. You saw a video of the Iranian president saying, "Who brought 400? You know, who brought stole a group of people and brought them to serve? You know, it's
call yourself Christians. Christians wouldn't do that. Jesus didn't do that.
You know, that's it. I also want to read on that article.
Hey, but what the brother's saying though, going right to the brother was saying, like, yo, man, that shame on them, right? Why can't they forget that, right? Yo, why isn't it not an open joke? Like, yo, when these so-called white people, these Americans, right, they sell out these Carnival Cruise Line ships and stuff. Hey, man, the walking joke should be this. Like, nah, we ain't getting no more cruise ships. Last time we got a cruise ship, the so-called white man, we was laid down and tight packed and we came over to another land in slavery, man. That should be a goddamn joke. The so-called white man shouldn't be able to sell a cruise line ship over here. Like, nah, we know what happened when you motherfuckers get boats and y'all bring people on them, take them out to the water. All right, you take them in captivity, but what? Hey, man, these people, they just walking around like nothing, man. Yeah. But what? We coming back to this here state where we putting this on Esau, like Obadiah 1 and 6, say how the things that Esau sought out and searched up, man. We exposing the so-called white man, over all his atrocities and stuff like that.
And here in the article says this is a conversation we don't want to have. No one wants to bring up, the atrocities done to our people. But here it is now in schools, they're teaching about transsexuals, a man and a man and a woman and a woman. This world has no truth.
But they have no shame in that.
And not at all, okay?
But you want to know why they don't want to talk about slavery? Because it will show that's why you are the devil. Right. That's why.
But, and another thing, they hypocrites because they don't want to talk about slavery because it was in the past. But yet, 1776, Independence Day, your ass was still a slave, but yet you celebrate the 4th of July. And Thanksgiving.
Hey, don't forget about Pearl Harbor. Let's not forget about Pearl Harbor.
Pearl Harbor.
Let's not forget about 9/11.
Yeah.
Let's not forget about that fixated, false-ass Holocaust.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's not forget about that, guys. Hey, let's not forget about D-Day.
Right.
But 400 years of murder, torture, raping, pillaging, castrating.
We still here today.
Taking your identity. All right, let's leave that shit alone.
What you get is black. What you get is Black History. That's all you get is Black History. Black History.
And then it's not even our real so-called. They ain't tell what. How come not once the so-called Black History Month have they ever told you you're not black people, you Israelites? Yeah. So what history are they really telling us?
Why is that history always start with the slave trade? They don't ever go beyond.
It never goes beyond that because that's how they see you as a slave. All right, and because when you think about it, man, I'm so sick and tired of seeing these so-called conscious black dudes what's his name, like Tariq Nasheed and all that. Killer Mike, he was on the Breakfast Club going at it with DJ Envy. He debating about starting your own schools or doing this and that. Listen here, man, you still got to go to them for the permits. You still got to go to them to have you see that, right? It was beautiful though, but he was making some good point. But it's like, this is not your rest, man.
What was beautiful in that was DJ Envy was like, yeah, I see that little clip. Something in the spirit have you looking like, what's the fuck?
I watched it too last night. It was like 20 minutes.
But homeboy was like, they was having an argument and it got into a light skin, dark skin argument, and DJ Envy was in his pride and his feelings. He was like, that's not what I'm saying. The point is Envy, you rich. We're not talking to all these jakes ain't rich. They can't all send their kids to private school. So don't be ashamed of who you are, man.
Exactly.
You can get this so-called good spot from where you at and your own people. Don't be ashamed of who you are, man. Yes, if you got the money to send your kids to private school and can pay for the best of the best, go do that, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Because that's you know what I mean? That's what you can afford to do.
Even Charlamagne was like, yeah, he not even talking to you. He said in general.
In general.
He was getting offended. Because you want to know why? Because what Killer, and this kind of went on record, but what Killer Mike was saying is that in general, you will say that your daughter went to a private school and now and now your son, he goes to a private school too. But see, what's your boy name? Killer Mike said he said he was poor. When he was going to school, he knew it was mainly his own people around him. So he had a sense of pride about himself. But when our people go to like Princeton and Yale and other schools, they still wear black faces and they make mockery of you. Why? Because you always been around them, thinking that you been around them will make you a better person.
Right.
But they still look at you as a nigga. So Killer Matt was like, even though you went to private schools growing up, your children go to private schools growing up, I went to Booker T. Washington High School where Martin Luther King went, things like that, and I still got the same education that you got.
Right.
In other words, it's a sister who went to a regular college, nothing private, and right now she's on the brink of being a neurologist.
Right.
And she even mentioned Ben Carson. So he said, I knew she about her shit. Make a long story short, regardless of what institution you go to, you can still get the same result. But what Killer Mike said that I really liked the most, regardless of what institution you go to, you still learning there Oh, they're indoctrinated. You still being indoctrinated by them. He said, he said, so you talking about all this money that you're trying to make with real estate and everything. What about starting your own charter school? And then the one chick on there was like, yeah, you know, Stephen Curry did it, LeBron did it, Jalen Rose did it. Okay, I see where they're going, but nonetheless, though, you still gotta go to them for the permission. So it's not your rest. It making beautiful points. It's beautiful.
Yeah, because who's giving exactly? No, who's giving that curriculum? You know, like you're saying, they're writing the storybooks.
Government issue curriculum.
Exactly. You have to follow these guidelines for you to get this approval.
That's right.
You're giving them my own business.
Yeah, you're basically how people live a false sense of reality, you know, and they're lulled back to sleep. They don't know what the hell is going on.
That's right, because let's say you had we're gonna get up on the topic. Let's say you had a question on a test, a history test, and it said, did Adolf Hitler kill 6 million Jews? Even if you can show the evidence he didn't, you're gonna fail that test. Because that's not the doctrine they're trying to preach. If you say no, he did not, and matter of fact, those so-called Amalekites, those so-called Sephardim and Ashkenazi Jews are not the real Jews. You're gonna fail that school. You're gonna fail that class. So what like Elder Pastor Hart said, what you gotta do? You gotta fake the funk, man. You gotta fake the funk the whole way. So it's not your rest. They still want you to learn a lot and to teach you.
Because let you so-called niggas, Latinos, and Native Americans make a real school like that. You know what's gonna happen to you? You're gonna have the military coming up with guns, taking the kids, talking about this is neglect. You know, and they'll put you in jail.
No, they'll call your ass a terrorist. Look at COINTELPRO.
Yeah,
I mean, really look at the Black Panther movement, because the more I actually looked at what's this guy named Fred Hammond or something like that. Fred Hampton. We start looking at those motherfuckers and shit that they had going on. They had some shit that, you know, I wouldn't say I would agree with, but nevertheless, like, yo, when they trying to so-called build up their community, like when the Crips and the Bloods started, you know, helping out their community, policing their communities and stuff like that. Now look at what's going on. The so-called white man don't want to see you in that kind of position. All right, just think about this. He up at the top, you at the bottom. You his prisoner. All right. What prison ward at a prison want to see his inmates be on the same level as him and be a co-worker? No prison warden want to see his goddamn inmates that he got in captivity be right side by side with him on the break room talking about, yo, when we gonna get our next paycheck? Like, motherfucker, I'm ruling over you. You in prison. You don't get to sit beside me. I don't want you to be on my same level. Nah, they're not trying to be on the same level as you. This is heaven. He at the top, and you think in your mind that he want to bring you up to his level? Right. That means y'all got to be equals. He got to share his shit with you. All right? He's dominating the whole planet Earth.
Now I can look you in the eye. Now I can look you in the eye.
Yeah, I'm like, hold on, man. Yeah. Nah, we ain't trying to share shit. I'm trying to be the top dog. All right? That's how it always was. You don't ever have a king roll up. You'll never see two kings roll up like, you're like, yo, dog, you know what? We gonna just join our kingdoms together like that. Like, nah, hell no, I'm gonna try to take over your kingdom because I want to rule in how they say, I want to have supreme rule or whatever, whatnot.
Because
you know, check it out like this. Like, you know, when certain jakes are wealthy, they have money. They able to go to certain establishments that so-called white people are able to go to.
Right.
And then they look at you like, damn, what this nigga doing here? Like, damn, what the fuck this nigga doing here? This
your own people?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So-called white.
About the nigga who got the money.
Yeah. Okay, you know, like, damn, what this nigga, you know, they looking like, damn, you know, what this nigga doing?
And what they automatically say is, oh, he probably played ball.
Yeah.
Or he probably sells, you know, drugs or some shit.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that he's able, this is your kingdom. But you got some so-called black people or Hispanics, whatever, Israelites, that able to go to certain establishments with so-called white people in their own kingdom.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, using that as an example, why the fuck would you want to be able to go into a restaurant, be able to go someplace in the kingdom, and you got so-called white people, Edomites, in there with you? That ain't gonna happen in the kingdom. You're not gonna go to some marketplace or some beautiful place in the kingdom and Edomites sitting there looking you in your face and eating there looking you in your face like, no, what the fuck is this Edomite doing here?
I'm not gonna come to you and look at you on your throne.
Yeah.
I'm like, Shalom, and then all of a sudden Edom coming out with a ephod on, with a mitri, you know, with a gold staff.
It's gonna say on the door, Israelites only.
The water. Hey, that's right.
Edomites out back.
Israelites only. Edomites in the back.
So it's my thing to these jakes. Why do you want a kingdom next to your enemy?
Right.
You know, you want to be hand in hand, Esau on the same. You don't want to be on the same level as these heathens, man. Come on.
And to tell you the truth, man, like not to so-called brag or boast about certain things, but just being around certain people in my life, you know, just living around certain people and dealing with certain people. I've been around like so-called rich, like the brother saying this is snap. But when you look around, you're like, damn, I'm the only so-called black person in here, or whatever, whatnot. You feel more comfortable around your own people, you know. When Jake, you know, coming from like the hood and stuff like that, real people from the hood, they want to move out the hood. But not necessarily to say, like, when you move into the so-called suburbs with the white people and stuff like that, all right, I'll give you an analogy. Jake really feels safer in the hood around his own people, all right? Because what? You see everybody else that look like you know what's going on, you know? But if you're the one so-called black dude walking into the white neighborhood, knowing you ain't did shit wrong, everybody looking at you like, what the fuck is going on? You know, just the same way if it was one white dude in the black people neighborhood, y'all like, yo, what the fuck is going on?
Hey, that's spiritual, bro. Because today I had a gig, you know what I'm saying? Cause, you know, we be moving furniture and shit. And it was an Edomite couple. They were older Edomite couple, so they moved to like this mobile home. So the Edomite, he was walking over with papers, and young Jake told me, yeah, man, he told me, yeah, when the white dude came up, cause Jake really polite. He was like, hey, how you doing, sir? He said, he looked at the dude, he said, hey, how you doing, sir? He said the dude didn't even look at him, he just put his head down and walked past him. I said, damn.
Yeah.
He put his head down. I said, you want to know what he saw? God. Because he started laughing, but
I'm gonna say this too.
Go
Like
ahead,
the land back off what the brother said. All right, he said you feel comfortable around your own people. Now you brothers know the job I work at. You know, I have such full of Jakes.
Yeah.
And Edomites, yeah, man, they bad. Yeah, they bad. But all in all, though, I'm looking up at them like
I understand.
They Jake, like that. Their behavior, like you able to
you understand
your people. Yeah, you know how when they being bad or if they about to fight or if they getting rowdy
or they just acting. Hey,
yeah, because you know your people, you know their behavior because they just like you. Like you look up,
you go around them.
You see how they acting. You like. You look up.
You right, bro. You right because
they good. They straight. They chilling.
They be like, girl,
they don't know the
they start laughing. They be like,
right.
But eat my chicken be like, oh shit.
Oh, you see? Yeah, we talk.
Bus driver.
Yeah, you see us talking. We all like,
They don't know the language.
Yeah,
we know the language. So you feel comfortable around your own people. You know what's going on.
And it's safer because shit, you could be living like again. You get you some money, you go move out there with all the so-called white people. Now you looking around like, yo, like when I was growing up, we was like, yo. We got people who live next door to us who be like, yo, we about to go out of town. We got to do certain things about certain ways. Certain neighbors watch. Yeah, now you living out there with the so-called white man. You looking at them, and then they looking at you like trying to figure out if you a drug dealer or whatever. Now, how did he get into this neighborhood? You know? And this is a thing like how we talking about. So I had a dude I used to work with, and he wound up going into Atlanta. Now, if you brothers in Atlanta know on Bankhead, that little food line over there where they be smoking inside the damn grocery store. They be gambling in there. You got to pay for the damn grocery cart and shit like that. Old ass white dude I used to work with suspenders and shit, right? Looked like he from the country. He went over there to the grocery store. He came from downtown to go over there, and he was scared. Told me I had my hand on my gun. I was scared they was gonna get me. There was a whole bunch of black dudes out there shooting dice, and I looked up, and they looked up, and I was scared. I was like, look, to tell you the truth, they was more scared of you than you was of them. They was like, yo, we ain't never seen no white person over here. So for you to walk over here, they thinking you the police, and you just as scared as them. So it's just you being uncomfortable, not knowing and being around other people like that. So like. At the same time, you know what I'm saying, now people like to go move and go to these restaurants around these other people and go to this and that. And for one, you can't even pronounce none of the damn names of the foods that you're going to go see. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go out to these little restaurants or whatever, whatnot, and be like, oh, today's fresh fish, what we got going on? They're like, yeah, where the catfish at? Let me get some fried catfish. I'm like,
I'm sorry, sir, we don't serve that here.
Yeah, we don't have it fried either at that, you know what I'm saying?
It's a vegan restaurant.
Right, yeah.
Here you go, man.
That's what he told me.
I know, you told me that.
You know this is a vegan restaurant.
What you want, a steak and potato?
No, he just said that.
I just came in and he told you know it's a vegan restaurant. Like I don't know what the fuck going
niggas
on.
don't eat.
Yeah, you know?
I was like, sir, I was vegan for a year. Yeah.
8 months to be exact.
Yeah, you was.
But see,
Oh, yeah, you was. You for me.
People try to climb out of the damn box that they in, try to feel a little bit better about this. So once you get into that little box, you wind up realizing that, yo, man, I'd rather be with my own people, man.
Yeah,
I'd rather be around my own damn people because I'm in these bougie ass restaurants, not even say you can't afford nothing in there, can't pronounce nothing in there. You don't even know why you eating it. Like, you go to those really high dollar restaurants, they give you a little bit of food. Like, motherfucker, I would have been better off at my little food truck around the corner, whatever, whatnot.
Exactly. Hey, yo, let me get number 4, man, with an iced tea, man.
Going to a Benjaminite spot.
Go to Benji. Hey, yo, man, let me get that curry goat, man. With that beans and rice, man.
You with all that rice and peas.
Okay, $10 guys now.
$7 to $10 on that shit is way better than the $8 meal at an Edomite restaurant. Same with these cars and these houses and things like that, man. The more and more you try to assimilate with them, you realize it's not really how do you say, fulfilling.
I'm done, man. All right,
no. Going still on through the spirit, because Like, all we going into is the suffering of drinking that cup. All right, so I did it through the spirit of power, YAHAWASHI. I did a video a couple days ago, and this is why we call you the devil. And this is an article by a guy named Askir Muhammad, and the title is After Apology. All right, it's called After Apology, Will America Repent? Okay. Now, it says after apology, will America repent? Now, the reason why I want to bring this out is because it says words are not enough. Actions to correct Black America's condition needed. So actions, right? It says, say reparation advocates. All right. So now I'm gonna just get right to the point. It says the horrors of a tropical slave ship are depicted in this painting by Robert Riggs of Philadelphia, July 22nd, 1963. On the ships, the slaves were stacked in 2-foot spaces between decks during the voyages, which lasted about 10 weeks. So now the reason why I really want to do a video, why I did it, the reason, bring it up. The reason why I did a video on this was because our people was under those slave ships for 7 weeks, man.
Type in tight packing.
Several weeks, all right, without any functioning. Then he had to come out, all right, and exercise so that they can be able to function, all right, to be the slaves, right? Dance, that's right, dance, so that they can be the slaves to build up America, which you will see today, all right? So it says, on the main deck, the slaves are forced to exercise under whips to keep in condition. So not only did they have to stretch, because Jake ain't want to, no, they was beat to strip. They was beat to being exercising, man. All right?
And to eat.
And these are the conditions that our forefathers went through to get here, okay? It says, one escapes supervision to jump overboard. So majority of our people, all right, a lot of our men had to watch their women go overboard with a child, man. Because look, you got to understand something. Being at the bottom of the ship for several weeks, all right, not seeing sunlight. The minute you get sunlight, you like, oh hell no. This all that was on your mind down there was like, I can't wait to see sunlight. I'm getting the fuck up out of here. So imagine the conditions of our women, man. All right, naked around other men. All right, our children naked. Imagine the smell that was on those ships, man.
Well, hold on, they was chained to each other, tight packed on top of each other. They couldn't move. They had basically a board over top of them, so they couldn't move nowhere. They had busted teeth out, was feeding them food just so they would eat, because the people was trying to kill themselves for not eating. Then this is where you get the so-called invention of those sex toys, butt plugs and shit. They would put that basically inside of Jake so they wouldn't be shitting on each other else and getting sick and throwing up on each other, getting diseases. So this is where all this different stuff come from. You know, the little funnels and butt plugs and shit like that. Come on, man. Like, this is the shit that Esau was doing to us on our ride over here, man.
And it was layers, man, okay? It was layers, man. 6, 7 layers. All right, so the guy who was on the bottom got it the worst, okay?
Oh, yeah.
You know, he got everything, man. Everything, man.
Everything.
You know?
Dead body, you might be chained to a dead body for a while.
All right? You know, and they was under, the reason why I'm bringing this out is because they was under those ships for weeks, man, before they seen sunlight, man.
If I could say this, add a fact to what the brother's saying, the conditions were so bad
they were on board.
due to the bacteria that they took over 21 million, but only like 11 million in total actually made over because the bacteria was so bad on those ships, bro.
They had to stop down,
and they was just throwing them off.
They had to stop down in Haiti and Dominican Republic to get cleansed before they actually came to the America.
And another thing, off of what the brother just said, this is where you get the start of insurance from. The first thing that was ever insured was the so-called Negroes, or the so-called Negroes, basically. What they was doing was, before they get them on the ship, they would, salt content was good or whatever, whatnot, and they would like cut off an ear for insurance. This is where you get your insurance from. The first companies of that, Wells Fargo, and all these different things, man. So again, man, woe to him that covered the evil covetousness into his whole nation. You know, building a city off of blood.
And this go all the way back to, now remember, this is that cup. This that cup that we drinking, man. All right. So it says, one escaped supervision to jump overboard. This is the point. Such suicides were frequent, man. All right, so suicides was a frequent thing. All right, it says.
Oh, you saw that on the movie Amistad.
I was gonna say that. That's
right when the lady had the baby, right, and she just fell backwards like that. You remember that shit? Suicide. That's suicide.
It says such suicides were freaking, man. You damn devils don't know what it is to travel on a slave ship, man. All right. So that's why the Lord said, "Hey, look, man, don't worry. They gonna get double fold. All right, but they got to drink of that cup. Okay." It says, "The shackled men on the tween deck will be brought up next for exercising." All right. So now I'm jump down to the point. Check this out. This is the point. You got some? Oh, come on. Oh, slacky. It says the resolution says Africans. All right, which. All right, in that video through the spirit I brought out, the Israelites, all right, who were named or who were called Africans, but how can they be Africans when the Africans and the Muslims and the Europeans sold them out, man? All right, that's the triangle slave trade, man. Okay, because why? They knew that they was the Jews. That's why they came for a specific people.
That's why it's called triangle slave trade, because they would give goods from Europe and give them to the so-called Africans. The Africans would gather us up. And they'll bring us over to America, then they'll take us from, take tobacco and other stuff from America over to Europe.
So 3 and 2, go on down.
Yeah, you said Joe. I thought you said Joe. So like you said
Joe. Throw out Akin. It says the resolution says Africans who were forced into slavery, Israelites, in quote, were brutalized, humiliated, dehumanized, and subject to the indignity of being stripped of their names and heritage. All right?
Which goes on still to this day.
Man. All right? This is the point, all right, of this cup. All right?
You talking about the names and stuff. You can go online. That's one of the most accurate and detailed documents that they have was all the slaves on the slave ships. You can go in and go look up the slave records and look at the names. They all pretty much Hebrew names.
I took pictures of it on his videos. It was like 100 different ship names, man.
Yeah.
Just getting to America, not yet alone not yet alone the ships that was going to
Europe.
Europe, So it's evident, man. All right,
I'm saying also you can look up at the names of the slaves that they were bringing over, and then those slaves actually had Hebrew names.
That's right, man.
I might have to look that up.
And on some of them flyers it said Hebrews.
Yeah.
It says this is the point. It says were brutalized, humiliated, dehumanized, and subject to the indignity of being stripped of their names and heritage. It says, in that so-called black day, continue to suffer from the consequences of slavery, man.
Exactly.
All right. So that's the point, man.
Post-traumatic
slave syndrome. Dr. DeGray, she a sister. Yep. Man, she did a beautiful documentary, man.
We watched that shit like 4 or 5 years ago. Right?
Yeah, bro, that was a long time ago, man. That shit had, I got sad. She said they used to work up to the points that the fibers from my muscles were detached from my shoulders, man.
Yep. You know, like you say, when you're working out, that muscle start ripping. And you can't lift no more. You like, damn, they burned out, right?
Yep, they like the acid buildup.
But they kept making them go to the point where the muscle just literally ripped off the bone. Yep. Like it detached itself from the bone. That's how much they made them work. Bro, you done worked out before. When you benching, that shit get too tight, you're like, yeah, I'm burnt out. They made them keep going.
They call burnouts too, man.
Exactly, to the muscle. It just broke, literally broke, bro.
Yeah.
You know?
But we preaching hate. You damn right. The hatred you have for us.
That, the next day, your ass back out there. Oh, hell no, bro.
Yeah, that's double, man.
Yeah.
Oh, Slocky, I went off a bit. This is the precept there.
Hey, hold on real quick. You was talking about, let me go for that real quick. Cause he was going into that slave ship and all that, the shit about the slave ship, right? Even still to this day, from Africa, from where we came from, what was that, over there where Cameroon and all that is at nowadays, where they call like Cameroon and Benin and all that. From there all the way over to, what is it, like Jamestown and stuff like that. They still have the sharks that swim the same path from all the blood, from everybody being dumped overboard from back then to this same day. And another thing that's ironic about that, it's the same path that the hurricanes take. And they don't come up from up under the water until you get out there to like
that's true,
out there where those islands, Puerto Rico and all that stuff is at. That's when the hurricanes come up out of the water. But they all take the same path. You never have hurricanes come from the other side.
It never forms. Yeah, you're right.
They never come from California side. They always come from this side over here.
It doesn't form until it actually gets out into the middle of the passage until they get close to those.
Right, the Caribbeans and all that.
Yeah, it comes from off the west because you can see that heat.
Yeah.
It's like that spirit just comes up, that wind, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, you're right.
And but what? The Most High says it's gonna come up on you like a flood, right? You done did all of this, so he keep constantly reminding you that damn hurricane keep hitting your ass till that real flood come in and just and it's gonna be a flood of fire.
And that's coming from the east.
Yeah.
And if I can say this real quick too, speaking on what the brother said about the post-traumatic slave syndrome, what the whole point in like one sentence, the lady she brought like post-traumatic slave syndrome. Like when you go to war, right? You got to go through certain things to get your mind back right from all the blood and all the bodies, things you've seen. You have to be habilitated, so to say. Rehabilitated because your mind is messed up. Now, what they said, you know, what the point she was making was, us as Israelites going through those things, we never went to no rehabilitation stage, from seeing our kids being hung and ripped into pieces, and all that was still on our mind. What they saying is that we have carried that on. We were never healed mentally. So our ancestors passed it on all the way up to us. So we never get healed. You know, that's been passed on all up. Like they never rehabilitated us and all the things they done to us, man. But what they would say, oh, the slave masters need to be rehabilitated from all the stuff they seen.
Right.
Just throw the slave, throw the niggas out to the wolves, man. Throw them out in the wild and hope they survive.
But that's why you see a lot of Jake in the hood growing up. I ain't got shit to live for, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got shit to live for. I'm gonna be a gangbanger killer. What else do I got to live for? Because like the brother saying, it's inside their mind. Like they don't see no real future for themselves. Like, hey, I'm gonna just be a dope boy. Hey, well, one of them rappers said that Jay-Z's like, well, shit, if I go out, I'd rather go out basically on top, with some money in my pocket. So I'd rather do that than just die like, a lame or whatnot. I'm like, hey man, that's Jake. What we got to live for, more or less to say, in the carnal sense in the world. We know what we got to live for because, that's why we in this truth. But rest of Jake, that's why they had that mentality. Oh, I ain't got shit to live for, man.
That's why the article said, it said suffering, even suffering the consequences of that till this day. That's why the title is After Apology, Will America Repent? So of course no. So it says words are not enough. Do not the scriptures say he that leadeth into captivity? Yeah. So what? It says words are not enough. Actions to correct Black America's condition is needed. You see? So there is no apology. And then it says, after apology, will America repent? So the answer is no, man. Because what? The Most High is setting this place up for what? It's destruction. So that's right. So I got a quick precept. This is Jeremiah. Real quick.
Yeah, I was going to.
No.
Brother paraphrasing. Hey, there's no place to repentance for Esau.
I was going to say the same thing. That's why they ain't gonna never repent. Because the Lord said there is no place. And Esau know that, so they say, fuck it. Why not just continue with our wickedness? The Lord said he's not gonna forgive us anyway.
And it tell you in the book of Revelations, they repented not from their doings.
Yeah, I was thinking of that.
What's that again?
It tell you Revelations that they repented not from all the shit they did. They repented not, man. So you got Edomites that, y'all niggas went into slavery and fuck it. They'll never come back into politics. No, they don't care.
Who cares?
We're
on top.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And they speak as a thing that's far off. This thing still goes on today.
Because that's a perpetual hatred. What you had that guy say, oh, where we going, Billy? We're going TMS coon hunting. So that's that same.
We're going nigger hunting.
We in 2019 right now. He's talking about going coon hunting.
Hey, matter of fact, Gucci just apologized for some bullshit ass article they made with the blackface. That shit still going today. That's why the Lord said, never trust our enemy. I don't trust none of these crackers out here, bro. Fuck them.
And we give free publicity and free advertisement. Go ahead,
no. I was surfing in YouTube and I came across a video of T.I. coming out, even though this ain't sold out. Of course. But T.I. he was like, look, man. He said, hey, man, that's the problem. He said, here it is, Gucci back in the day, they was never getting as much attention or never getting their products bought, never getting a logo on it. But now because more Jakes is buying it, so now they got that logo has come up. Now you niggas is out there buying it. He was speaking some truth, but we know the niggas sold out. But the truth is out there, man.
I said this a couple times before, like, yo, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, all them, Rolls Royce, none of them have to, you don't see no commercials for them. Who is the commercial advertiser selling all that? The people that advertise for that is Jake. You know what I'm saying? Gucci and Rolls Royce. How you know about the new Rolls Royce Phantom and the new Rolls Royce truck? You ain't seen no commercial for that. You seen this shit on the music video.
Yeah, man.
He was like, he said, you niggas we consume. He said we consume 90% of all this that coming in, and you niggas just don't understand the fact that what's going on. But hey, that's a beautiful thing. Cause even though he got to speak in code, he's saying some real shit, man. Yeah. But you niggas ain't gonna get it.
But hold on, fuck T.I. cause he was the same type of nigga though who was also promoting that shit with hypocritical ass.
Of course.
Okay, now you in now you in your fucking feelings and shit.
Okay.
Goofy ass out of here. All y'all niggas gonna die, man.
Exactly. Really want to be a leader,
y'all niggas just get entertained. So like, go ahead, though.
I say if y'all really wanted to be all that, y'all could have all the money y'all spent on Gucci, Prada, and all that Rolls Royces. Y'all could have bought could have made your own designer clothing, could have made your own designer car, and had these other nations buying y'all shit.
And you know what though? He not exempt from the state of our people being into it. He actually perpetuated it because you made our people thinking, oh yeah, you a dope boy. So you know, it's a lot of people out here that will listen to your music, following in your footsteps, and have died trying to get the same shit that you telling us to stop buying today.
Or have killed. Or
have killed his own.
Yeah. Get what you got.
Now you want to say, man, get the fuck out of here.
Still bumping that ASAP. They see my shit
back in the day. I'm gonna blow him off the map. ASAP.
Come on, it's out there, man.
How many niggas was motivated by that? I'm gonna blow him off the map. ASAP.
And he had a song called Motivation too.
Motivation.
Oh, that was that hit though.
Hey, but that Jeezy too, man. When Jeezy came out with that Snowman, my boy, a lot of niggas died after that. Shit. Hey, but listen, real talk.
They let our people to air. Man.
They did.
And now they want to come into the realization, why? Because these prophecies. Like Brandon T. Jackson, he's a famous actor, man. Who played in with Bow Wow, lottery ticket. He was on the top of the roof. He's like, come on, man, you gonna give all this up. You know, he was like, man, you gotta come on. You know, he was going in, but hey, that go to show. Now you go and see what Brandon T. Jackson talking about. He like, hey, man, the things they're speaking about in Revelation is coming to pass. He like, I don't know, man. The shit that's going on in Revelations it's the truth. Why? Because what? He coming to the realization that him selling his soul was for naught, man. All right. This is Jeremiah chapter 25, verse 15. It says, "For thus saith YAHAWASHI, Salah." Verse 16. It says, oh, no, that's the point, yep. Jeremiah chapter 25, verse 15. "For thus saith YAHAWASHI of Israel unto me, take the wine cup of this fury at my hand, and cause all nations to whom I send thee to drink it." All right, now let's listen to the first nation that's going to drink that cup. Jeremiah 25 and 15. All right, yes, indeed. It says, "For thus saith YAHAWASHI of Israel unto me, take the wine cup of this fury at my hand, and cause all the nations to whom I send thee to drink it." It says, "And they shall drink and be moved and be mad because of the sword that I will send among them." Yeah. All right.
So you talking about all that Willie Lynch shit? How to break a slave? That motherfucker, bro. He really broke down some shit to literally make us to fight against each other, which all goes back to the curses that I shall be evil towards thy brother. He did certain things like if you see certain slave pictures.
But when the Lord said I shall destroy you, who did he use?
Esau.
That's what
So he'll have, let's say I did something, right? Esau be standing right there. He have you and Kwam whip my back. Yep. So now,
if you don't do it, I'm gonna rape your wife or something.
Exactly. So now, he the one perpetrating all the shit, but now I'm mad at you and him.
It happened at 12 years old with Solomon Northrop.
Yeah, now I'm mad at you and him. Even though he told y'all to do it, now I'm mad at you and him. Like, man, y'all niggas, man, whoop my back, man. You know, but y'all like shit. I'm following orders because a certain thing would have happened to me. So that made me have an evil eye towards you on a plantation or some shit. You know, you know,
for that same reason.
So that
only for money now.
So that writing and shit, man. They really took them slave masters, really took that shit and really separated us, man.
Have it down to a science.
You know, exactly, man. Let the lighter slaves. You know, so on and so forth, you know.
And Elder Apostle Hart just did a video on that lady on why we call you the devil. When she was locked up, they had her, she was beat by a Jake. And then a Jake, before he beat her, he was the Edomite was like, look, you know what I'm gonna do to you if you don't beat her. And she got bruises uncurable to this day, you know. So that's going right back to what we're talking about, man. They use your own people against you, man. All right. So it says, Jeremiah 25 and 16, "And they shall drink and be moved and be mad because of the sword that I will send among them.
Then took I the cup at the Lord's hand, and made all the nations to drink unto whom the Lord hath sent me. First nation, to wit Jerusalem, and the cities of Judah, and the kings thereof, and the princes thereof. All right, now I'm going to jump down to the point. It says, verse 21, Edom and Moab and the children of Ammon. All right, jump down to verse 30. Therefore prophesy thou against them all these words, and say unto them, the Lord YAHAWASHI shall roar from an high, and utter his voice from his holy habitation. He shall mightily roar upon his habitation. He shall give a shout, and they that tread the grapes against all the inhabitants of the earth, a noise shall come even to the ends of the earth. For the Lord have a controversy with the nations. He will plead with all flesh. He will give them that are wicked to the sword, saith the Lord.
And that's the point, man.
All right, so you got to drink of that cup, my man. We going into the cup, you know?
Hey, you hit that, and I got one to close out with that. Same shit. Same thing. Same thing.
Yeah. This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 16. Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord Yahweh's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory.
I'm gonna finish off with Obadiah verse 1 and 15 and 16. For the day of Yahweh is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall be returned upon thy own head. For as you have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. Now I love that scripture. I call that the eat the cake anime. Like Ike Turner said, eat the cake anime. Eat the cake anime. You gonna get that Ike Turner. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you brothers got anything else?
Nah, we finna close out, brother.
All right, well, with that, we want to give all praises and glory to Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakam, Kadash. Want to give a double honors to our apostles and elders, the great millstone that taught us his truth. That's
right.
We also want to give a citation to you. I can push his truth and sincerity in the four corners of the earth and endure the afflictions to feed and edify the elect. And with that, we're going to say, Shalom.
Shalom.